Hey guys, and welcome back to Concordia Jedi for part 2 of What If Vader Survived Return of the Jedi. The outpouring of support and compliments from the first video was absolutely overwhelming. I'd like to thank all of you guys for getting us this far and for sticking with us during the wait for this video. I know you guys love these videos, but they can be a nightmare to create, especially when I'm trying my hardest to take these scenarios in a different direction than other what-ifs. I'd also like to thank our amazing voice actors for lending their talents to bring the scenario to light. Check them out in the comments below and show them some love. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. Picking up where we left off, Vader, now once again Anakin Skywalker, and his son Luke have gone on the run from the rebellion to rebuild the Jedi Order. Luke and Vader would spend several months on Tatooine, setting up shop in Ben Kenobi's old home. During this time, Luke would continue to make improvements to Anakin's life support system. The progress would be slow, but eventually, Anakin's armor and life support would be made far more bearable to live in, and much more mobile in the event he needed to fight. Anakin and Luke would spend the first few months training before they decided to pursue their goal of restoring the Jedi Order. Outside Ben's old hut, Luke would be balancing on top of a moisture evaporator, first on 2 hands, then on 1. He had been maintaining this position for nearly an hour, and was starting to waver.
Concentrate, Luke. Feel the Force. Let it invigorate you.
I'm doing my best.
You're distracted by something. I can sense it. Calm down.
Luke would drop to the sand below and would land on his feet in front of Anakin.
What's bothering you, son?
It's nothing. I'm worried about Leia and the others. I just hope they're okay.
Your sister and your friends are more than capable of taking care of themselves. You need to trust them.
I do trust them. But now the rebellion will be after them. Because of us. Anakin would place his hands on Luke's shoulders.
They knew the risks involved in helping you free me, and they took those risks. Your friends care about you, Luke. Make the best of the freedom they've given us. You've come a long way in these past few months. We can't falter now.
Yes, Father.
Now, let's review your lightsaber technique.
Luke and his father would engage in a duel, testing Luke's endurance as well as his technique and form. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, Leia, Han, Chewie, and 3PO had found themselves living on a remote homestead in the outskirts of Dantooine. It was a risk to hide out there, but since the rebellion no longer held any outposts on the planet, they could lay low with relative ease. Leia would stand outside looking at the horizon, thinking about Luke.
You okay?
Leia would nod, taking Han by his hand.
You're worried about Luke, aren't you? You don't think something happened to him, do you?
No. I can feel it.
I swear I'll never understand this whole Force thing.
Han?
What is it?
It's nothing. I'll tell you later.
All right. Chewie and I are going to make a supply run. We won't be too long.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Leia would smile as Han and Chewie took a speeder to the nearest town.
Ah, Princess Leia. Did Captain Solo take the news well?
I didn't tell him yet.
Oh, well, perhaps it's none of my business, but it may be better to tell him sooner rather than later, given our current situation.
I will. You don't need to worry about me.
Very well. If you require my assistance, you know where to find me.
Leia would look back at the horizon, placing her hand upon her stomach. Meanwhile, in the dark recesses of space, a dark figure would kneel before a hologram of his master.
It appears as though Lord Vader has chosen weakness over strength. We will have to enact our plans sooner than expected. Gather the Sith Eternal. Double our efforts and prepare to strike when I give the orders.
It will be done as you have commanded, my lord. It may take time to ensure that we are properly prepared to strike against the Alliance. But I assure you, we will be ready when you give the order.
The hologram would fade as General Pryde stood and made his way to the comm tower to contact the Sith Eternal.
Anakin.
Master Qui-Gon.
You have come far, Anakin, but a great threat still remains. Surely you sense it.
Yes, I believe so.
You know who it is. If Palpatine is not truly dead, you must put a stop to his plans before they can come to fruition.
I don't know where to look.
Search your feelings, my friend. You know more than you believe.
Anakin would open his eyes, and he remembered. Exegol. The Sith world that Palpatine had shown him. If he was truly alive, that's where they would find him. Father? What's wrong?
Luke, I suppose it's best that I tell you now. I have sensed a dark power stirring in the Force. Palpatine may still be alive.
No. That's impossible.
The dark side holds many dark and terrible secrets, Luke, not all of which are known to me. If he indeed lives, his retribution will be swift. We'll need help if we are to defeat Palpatine. Even if he's weaker now, he's no less dangerous.
So what can we do?
I know someone who may be able to help us, but we'll have to leave Tatooine to do it.
Then we shouldn't waste any time. Where are we headed?
To Tython, the birthplace of the Jedi.
Packing up what they would need, father and son would depart from Tatooine and chart a course for Tython. Back on Dantooine, Leia would be sitting quietly, blaster in hand. For so long, she had fought to defeat the Empire and bring peace to the galaxy. Now that there was no battle to be fought, no rebellion to report to, it almost made her long for the days of fighting alongside Luke, Han, and Chewie.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Han, there's something that I need to tell you.
What is it?
I'm...
Excuse me, Princess. The Falcon has just received a transmission.
I'll go check it out.
Han would leave the room as Leia would give 3PO an exasperated look.
Thanks, 3PO. Thank you very much.
Oh, you are quite welcome, Princess. I am happy to assist.
Leia would roll her eyes and head outside to the Falcon, where Han was running a few scans on the transmission code. The last thing they needed was to be tracked down.
Okay, we should be secure. Let's see who wants to contact us.
Pulling up the hologram, an image of an old man with a bald head and white beard would pop up.
General Organa, General Solo, if this transmission has reached you, I want to speak to you. To help you. I know you didn't exactly part ways with the Alliance on the best of terms. But if you hadn't intervened, a good man would have been executed. I served with Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars. I never really knew just what became of him. But knowing the whole truth now, after what Luke said during the trial, I'm ashamed I didn't act alongside you. If you're willing to meet me, I'll be willing to help you barter a deal with the Alliance. I'll be waiting on Ord Mantell in 2 days if you want to take me up on my offer. If not, then I'll leave you be. May the Force be with you.
Leia and Han would look at each other.
It could be a trap.
I don't know. I've been caught up in plenty of cons and traps. I think he's telling the truth.
Maybe. What should we do?
It's up to you. Whatever you decide, I'm behind you.
Meanwhile, Luke and Anakin would arrive on Tython and land their ship not far from a tall hill leading up to a plateau with several stone pillars. Stepping off, both Anakin and Luke would feel the distinct energy and aura of the planet echoing through them. So this is it?
Yes. We need to head to the top.
What's up there?
You'll see.
Making their way to the top with R2, Anakin and Luke would see a large stone in the center of the structure.
This may take a bit of time. Sit. Meditate.
Luke would nod and sit down as Anakin sat on the stone, closing his eyes and taking deep breaths. Slowly, he would feel the Force flow through every cell in his body. Then, he would call out. For a while, nothing happened. Then, Anakin would open his eyes and sit calmly. What happened?
I called through the Force to someone who can help us.
Do you think it worked?
We'll see.
Back on Dantooine, Leia and Han would be talking to each other. The idea of meeting with Rex would be risky. But in the end, they would decide to meet with him. If it was a trap, they could escape in the Falcon. Bringing Chewbacca and 3PO along, Leia and Han would set a course for Ord Mantell.
So, what was it you wanted to tell me?
Nothing. I'll tell you later.
Leia, are you alright? You haven't been yourself lately. What's going on?
Look, I just need a bit of space right now. Please.
Han would begrudgingly accept her request as the Falcon jumped to lightspeed en route to Ord Mantell. Back on Tython, Anakin and Luke would sit quietly, Anakin with a very nervous expression. What is it?
Nothing. I'm just preparing myself.
For what? Before Anakin could respond, they would both feel a powerful presence and stand as a ship entered the atmosphere and approached them, before gently settling down on the surface. The ramp would open, and a cloaked figure stepped out onto the dirt, staring at them. Luke would place a hand on his lightsaber before Anakin would calmly place his hand on his back.
It's all right.
Anakin walked forward, staring at the figure who had removed their hood.
Ahsoka, I know I'm the last person you want to see right now, after all I've done.
Ahsoka Tano stood still, staring at Anakin, an unbearable tension in the air.
But I need you to know how sorry I am for everything. It was my fault. All of it was my fault. I failed as a master, and I failed as a Jedi. Your anger isn't misplaced. Nothing I can say or do will bring back the lives I've taken, or the future I've destroyed. But
Before Anakin could say another word, Ahsoka would rush to her old master and hug him tightly, as tears filled her eyes.
Anakin, I missed you.
I missed you too.
No matter what mistakes you've made, you're back. That's all that matters now.
Anakin's eyes would overflow with tears of joy as they would break apart, and Ahsoka would see Luke.
This is my son, Luke.
Luke would step forward and bow respectfully. It's an honor to meet you. Ahsoka would smile coyly.
So you did have a thing with the senator. I knew it.
Anakin would uncomfortably scratch the back of his head as they all sat and shared stories. Ahsoka would tell of everything that had happened since their encounter, including how she managed to escape. Luke would be fascinated by her history as a Jedi and her time aiding the Alliance's fulcrum. But soon, Anakin would have to tell her why they were here.
Ahsoka, we need you. The threat of Palpatine isn't gone. He's out there somewhere on an ancient Sith world in the unknown regions. There's no telling what his next move will be. I know some of his contingencies, but I don't know where he will strike next. If we are to rebuild the Order and bring true peace to the galaxy, we're going to need your help.
Ahsoka would look down and back to Anakin, her hand resting on R2's head.
I'll do what I can, Master. But rebuilding the Order will be your responsibility. And Luke's.
Why not you? As a Jedi, you also have a responsibility.
I'm not a Jedi, Luke. I was, long ago. But my destiny has led me on another path. The galaxy needs the Jedi, but the Jedi don't need me. I have a mission of my own that I must see through. I can help you, but not as a Jedi.
Luke would sit, confused as Anakin would stare at the fire.
I understand, Ahsoka. That choice is yours. And if you stand by it when this is over, I will accept it. No matter what, you are my student. And my friend.
Thank you, Master. You said Palpatine is in the unknown regions. That area is uncharted and dangerous. How would we get there?
There is a way to navigate the unknown regions. A wayfinder. One was destroyed on board the Death Star. The other is on Mustafar. At my castle.
And that's where we need to go.
Do you think it will be guarded?
It's doubtful. After what happened, most of the guards have most likely abandoned the castle. As far as they're concerned, I perished above Endor. Still, we should be quick about it. We'll head out in the morning.
Meanwhile, the Falcon would arrive on Ord Mantell at the coordinates given by Rex. Upon landing, they would find him, cloaked and keeping to the shadows.
Your Highness, it's good to see you.
Keep this brief. We don't want to stay any longer than we need to.
Right. Here's the deal. As far as the Alliance is concerned, you committed treason and aided in the escape of a prisoner of war who is set to be executed. But I think I can help.
No offense, Rex, but if they didn't listen to Luke, what makes you think they'll listen to any of us?
It'll take a lot of convincing, but I think I have an idea.
Before Rex could say another word, however, an ion blast would fire from above the city, hitting the Millennium Falcon and crippling it, leaving everyone stunned and shocked as several Alliance transport crafts would fly down to them.
You sold us out!
No! I swear I had nothing to do with this!
A large squadron of rebel soldiers would exit the crafts and surround all of them.
Don't move! Hands where we can see them!
Han, Leia, Rex, and Chewie would all drop their weapons and put their hands behind their heads as they were led to the crafts and restraints. Back on Tython, Luke would awaken, feeling a terrible sensation in his mind.
Han. Leia. Chewie.
Anakin would sense his son's distress and wake up.
What is it, Luke?
Leia and the others. They're in trouble. I can feel it. We have to go help them.
Luke, compose yourself. Take a deep breath. You need to focus.
There's no time, Father. We have to help them. They're in trouble. I know it.
I know more than anything about wanting to help those you love. But we don't know when the Emperor could strike next.
I'm not abandoning them, Father.
Your friends are strong, Luke. You have to trust that they can take care of themselves. If you leave now, the consequences could be dire.
So you want me to let them face danger alone?
I didn't say that.
I'm not going to leave them. I'm going. That's all there is to it.
Do you remember when you rushed off to save them on Bespin? What happened, Luke? You fell right into a trap. Because you weren't thinking.
I'm not the Jedi I was on Bespin. I can help them.
And what if you can't? What if you wind up in the same mess?
You can go to Mustafar and get the Wayfinder. But I'm going to find my friends and my sister. That's it.
Luke would go to the shuttle and make preparations to leave. Meanwhile, Anakin would go to Ahsoka and tell her everything.
He wants to drop everything to go help them. Why is he so short-sighted?
Can you say you were never the same way?
Anakin would look down and sigh.
What should I do?
I can't answer that, Anakin. Ask yourself. What do you think you should do?
Luke would ready the ship and sit in the cockpit, only to feel a hand on his shoulder.
If you're set on this, I'll go with you.
What about the Wayfinder?
I told Ahsoka where she can find it. When she retrieves it, she'll contact me. My place is with my son.
Luke would smile as he and Anakin sat in the cockpit with R2 in tow, and would start the engines before flying off to the stars.
Be careful, Sky Guy.
On Exegol, the Emperor would sit, suspended by machines and devices, before a hologram of General Pryde.
My lord, everything is proceeding as planned. It won't be long before the fleet is ready. Are you certain that this is the best course of action?
Our retaliation must be swift, General. The rebellion has not the resources nor the power to stand against us. Even with Skywalker, he is but a shell of the man he was. And before the end, he will realize the true cost of his betrayal.
And I think that's where we'll leave things off for right now. I know this part of the story is not as action-packed or exciting, but I think the best has to be saved for last in part 3. Again, I know I took a few liberties here and there, but my goal first and foremost is to provide a worthwhile story that will all come together in the conclusion. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for more content coming your way. We'll see you all next time on Concordia Jedi, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always.